Welcome back to V-Reel. Today is Wednesday, where we go over our Works of Art Wednesday, but how about some free artwork for you in that Galarian Articuno tin from Crown Zenith? That's going to be important in just a second here. And we have that's right, two 3-pack blisters of Stellar Crown going out to 2 additional winners and a Pokemon Mystery Prize. 4 lucky winners overall. All we got to do is reach that 2,500 subscriber mark. We are so close to doing it. And do me a favor, go over to this video here. That's the one where you need to leave an additional comment. In addition to all that, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell because I post 7 days a week. If you want to know more information on that giveaway, check the description below. But it's really easy. If you've already entered, you don't have to enter, all that good stuff. So I just want to give everybody a fair shot for your support of this channel. Let's dive in. We have Pokelector here. This is where I like to go just to kind of see where we're at in the status of this weekly edition here on our Works of Art Wednesdays. We've been going through each set. I'm a little bit nitpicky about what that means. Don't do the holiday calendar. We're not going to do the trick or trade, that kind of stuff. I just saw this pop up recently, the Scarlet and Violet Energies. That's interesting. But the promos, they're not complete yet. We still got another year of Scarlet and Violet to go, so we're going to have to pass on that for now. When Surging Sparks comes, we work our way back, and we're going to do that, but we are going from most modern all the way to the oldest, and we have completed everything from Scarlet and Violet series so far. So that means we're moving on to the Sword and Shield series, which puts us at, that's right, Crown Zenith. That's what I was saying. It's going to be important because we're on Crown Zenith. Now, Crown Zenith as a set, there's some good stuff in there. The Radiance, that special Pikachu secret rare in there. I think it's the only secret rare. And then we have the entire Galarian Gallery, where the art lies when we go through it. Oh, I already did pull this up. I'm so smart and way ahead of myself. Where we did go through this here, beautiful, is going to be focusing on the Galarian Gallery. There are just so many options here, so many beautiful artworks, and it's huge. It's huge when we get down to just doing the artwork side of things. 70 of them. This is going to take a while. If you've been here before, even if you haven't, let's quick go over it. I like to list it at 4 different categories: true artwork, still art, neutral, or not going to last. This is my own opinion, and it's based on the perspective of how these cards will stack up over time, where they land currently. I try to be as realistic about the artwork itself as possible. It's really hard not to take in consideration the specific Pokemon being featured, or a character if it's a trainer, as well as the price. And there's some playability in TCG, popularity overall. There's a lot of things that just come at you. So can I say I'm being completely neutral to all of that noise going on? Of course not. It's going to play a role in some way, but I try to avoid it. I try to focus on the artwork itself and let it be about that. So let's dive in a little bit here. We're going to start looking at these Galarian Galleries. I had listed out lowest to highest in price, so we can kind of work our way through. And with the price, it just means these are either easier to get or less sought after. We know the yellow border ones, those are going to be the easier ones. It's the back half that's going to be harder there. And just a quick scroll through some of these here to see if there's anything that really sits in that not going to last category. Because to be honest, if it's going to be there, it's going to be the lower end pricing there. It might be in this middle tier, but here we go into that silver border on some of these. Moving us in that direction. So, you know, are we really seeing any that are going to be not going to last? I mean, they're only supposedly by price getting better. So let's take one last glance here on that final page. I don't think we're going to have any of these that would hit that category, but you know, it's worth a glance. You know, so I don't know. I feel like this week is going to be very strange and very difficult because it's going to be splitting hairs for the most part. As I can confidently say that none of these artworks really hit it for me in the category of not going to last. All right, so we're just going to rule that one out completely, which is not normal, not easy. We're going to have a lot in neutral. We're going to have some in still art, and then we should have a good handful in the true artwork. So let's start running through it and see if we can blast through a handful here. As far as neutral, I'm going to just take a quick block here. This block here, Poochyena, Paris, Riolu, these all kind of work together. And the Mareep, there's a group of 9 of them that sit together. If you have them in a page, it creates one large image. It looks really cool, completed, and we have them all in line here. I'm going to say that these are in the more neutral category just because of the artwork. As a whole, it's fantastic. As individual art pieces, I'm not really interested in the entirety of that spread. And it makes it a little bit easier to kind of just put things aside. Now you can see I missed one. I skipped one. And this is where that whole, I wonder if the Pokemon's going to play a role. Of course Pikachu's going to play a role. So let's see if we can pull him up here, take a look where we at on Pikachu. Are we over in this page? Here we are, just to see it a little bit larger. So that Pikachu is the only one interacting in this way with the landscape. He's got that giant leaf, he's jumping up, it's looking like a little parachute. Really playful, really fun, interesting, very different kind of characteristic of Pikachu being featured. So this one actually makes that bump up into a still art category because of that additional level. The others are just being featured here. Riolu could be close, but I really think Pikachu kind of hits it pretty well there for me. And the others just don't quite make the cut. We're going to go through a few others here, just trying to call it neutral. It could be because Oricorio is annoying, or because it's just very simple. It was like trying to be busy, but it didn't really make it. I don't know. Oricorio, Voltorb, these are going to hit in that neutral for me. Some people could be mad about this. Diancie, I think that's a neutral as well. We're going to go through this. The Goodra is getting into the neutral. I'm going to lose track of what's what. So we're going to throw a few more into the neutral category here and just kind of start making that happen. Where were you? Yeah, see, I mean, as a thumbnail, it kind of looks cool, but when you get a closer look at it, it just doesn't quite make it for me. It doesn't really have enough going on to elicit a higher tier. So that's just me. Where are we at? Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of background that I can do anything with. So it's really plain in that way. Maybe that's a part of the price. Maybe the fact of that popularity or lack thereof popularity on the Pokemon puts it that way. Also, we're trying to narrow some of these yellow border ones down and out because of the fact that we know that back half is going to be pushing us a little bit further in that direction there. Toxtricity. I think this one has a lot of energy, very interesting. You have a lot of depth to the photo. There's an Obstagoon there, I think. The Thievul, very interesting, like comic book style sketch going on here, really grungy. So I think that kind of elevates it a little bit. Dunsparce, again, a lot of storytelling here, very interesting in that way. Magnezone, I think I pulled this one a couple times and it was kind of trolling me for a few packs there or something, but a lot happening here where he just looks like a cog in the machine, working in a factory or something, doing some sort of manufacturing. These are all kind of pushing a little bit further along because there's a lot of depth. They got some good foreground, some good lighting, and some good background, and a little bit more storytelling going on. The Cricketune, these are all a little bit more elevated to me because there's more to it. It's not just the Pokemon. The Altaria, really like the style here, that it's that knitted Pokemon style where it's like knitted and then sitting in real life kind of thing. So I really like that on this one here. Lunatone, same kind of thing. Miltank, I think we're hitting it home with that one as well. Ditto's a little bit plain, but because it's so goofy that this is a Ditto just trying to fit in, it kind of feels like there's a little bit more there, a little bit something playful to make it more fun. Comfy, I'm a little bit thrown, like, you know, it's not amazing, so let's just pull that one into the neutral. But we do have quite a few we can be putting into that still art. I think we're going to hit a lot in this category of still art because it's just such a great set. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it. It's a great set, and the Galarian Gallery, there's so many that are so affordable. It's just really worth taking a look at. If you haven't had the chance to open Crown Zenith, it's pretty reasonable these days. If you're able to get that Sea and Sky box from Sam's Club, you got some opportunity there. We got to speed this up because we're not even getting to the fullest of them. Electroive. My gosh, I can't say these. Is that the last one on this page we need to look at? I believe so. Let's scoot over here and give it a look here. We got the Mew, beautiful Mew there. Zoror VMAX is pretty cool. Let's get through some of these here. Gardenians, Vigor, and Grant. Although those are pushing up to be a little bit harder to get. Hey, we don't even have them in here. Let's skip those. Okay, I didn't pull them aside, so let's skip those. That makes it a little bit easier. I was going to put them in the neutral, to be honest. I'm going to be a little bit picky here. I think there's a lot going on with the storytelling. I think that we can say safely. These are going to be in the still art, not really pushing into the neutral. It's so hard to push these down. You can see there's like an elevation happening on these last few here. Could be that it's Lapras. I don't know. I felt like Lapras wasn't getting a lot of love for a long time. Now it's Stellar Crown. Obviously getting some love on Lapras there. But I got to say it's a true artwork for that one. I really do enjoy how Lapras looks. The fact that we have so much going on. Other Pokemon making their appearance here. This beautiful lighting coming through the water. It's really hitting on all cylinders there. And that's the first one putting in true artwork. The Mew. Very good storytelling there, the little sleepy Mew. I'm going to go with the Keldeo as well. And the Latias. Is it Latias that we have there? Latias? Is it Latios? It's Latias. Flying through the city, getting caught up on the laundry out to dry. It's awesome. This is going to be a hard one because it just keeps seeming like everything is going to be true artwork. But again, this set's going to hold up. Now we can get picky. We can get really annoyingly picky about this and start looking into some of these here. I'm going to be a little bit harsh because some are obviously good. Others are kind of, okay. For instance, Hisuian Samurott V. Beautiful. Absolutely awesome. Love it. True artwork for sure. Hisuian Samurott V-Star. No. It's nice. It's still art, but it does not hit it. It's not a true artwork. The difference is so clear. The scenery, the landscape, the water, the mountain, the atmosphere, the fall colors, the difference in color contrast here, the yellows against the blues, all of that. Posture of the Pokemon. This one's so plain and straightforward. Yeah, it looks wild and crazy, but then it stops and you're done. Like you read into it and it's over. So we can kind of play into that a lot because sometimes the V looks a lot better than the Vmax. We're not bringing you up yet. We are going here. Let's do that. Still art, but the V is so much better than the Vmax. Can we get up here? Here we go. Same thing when we get into our, who is it here? Deoxys. The regular Deoxys, I think, looks and showcases so much better than the Deoxys VMAX, where we are at here. There we go. It's cool, it's interesting, but it's a little bit too plain. A little bit too plain for me. So still art, but not a true artwork. The V-Star, I like this one. It is that chaos, the splash of color going all over the place, but there's just something missing that pulls it back for me. We can put a few of these here. I'm actually going to throw you in neutral, buddy. Yeah, you're the first silver border that made that cut. Sorry. Darkrai is going to go over here. What do we have left here? I don't know if it's just me, but I felt like the Regigigas, where are you at? Where are you at, Reggie? Can't keep track of these at all. There we go. Regigigas V-Star. I thought it was kind of cool at first, had an interesting texture, but then I kind of fall short on that, and it stops very quickly. It looks a little bit overdone on the texture, in my opinion. It's so hard to speak about a lot of these things. One, I want to go faster. Two, there's just so many to cover, and I really want to get to the best of the best, and let's be honest, we're kind of approaching that right now. Zoroark V-Star, you're going over here. It's cool, but we're going to put you, or VMAX rather, it's going to be over there. We can kind of see things are starting to tie together as being interesting. That Hoopa, yeah, really cool, very interesting, but we're kind of lacking in some ways here. We're getting down to the golds, getting down to the top tiers. I think the only one that stands out as kind of being a little goofy in this set is a Semisear. I think this one was great for when it came out and the way it was shown, the fact that it was just so simple and silly. I think it was an instant favorite among the collectors and people pulling packs. As far as artwork goes, we can't quite get it to that true art, but it definitely is still art. And really, I mean, this is just such a fantastic set. Look at this. It's so up there. Can we do this quickly? Because I think it just becomes so obvious so quick. these gold cards, they are the chases of the set. There's no way that we can try to critique these down a level. There's so much going on. We have a lot of scenery, a lot of landscape, a lot of storytelling, and you put things together and they start adding up into a greater picture. Obviously, the golds are all going there. They are the top tier, as well as that Mewtwo. And sure, it'd be nice to kind of like let this be the high point of the conversation. But I think it's actually more obvious than that, oh yeah, those are great. Those are true artworks. Done. Like, we know that. We've seen them. We've poured over them for a long time, looking at pricing and watching them. And for those of you who've been wanting to pull it or collect or buy singles, you've been staring at these. So it becomes a little bit numb, but it doesn't discredit the fact that they are true artworks. Let's get into the Leafeon. Absolutely stunning. I love this one. There's so much happening here, so much of a story. Nice framing, good central figure there. Same kind of thing here, framing through those trees in the setting of the snow with the Glaceon. Obviously, these are beautiful, true artworks. The 3 legendaries. For a simple background that's not scenery, not a lot happening, the colors work perfectly. The motion blur works amazing. There's this high energy charge, this running, this action shot. It is a true artwork. Suicune, same thing. A lot of depth in this one. You have the sweep of this meteor shower here, along with this aspect, these ribbon-like things coming off of them. Awesome here. Entine's a little bit funky in the artwork. It really is. It kind of doesn't fit in a style or anything. It's just its own. This heavy lined art here around it, giving this cartoon kind of pop. But it really does work for the Pokemon. We're just going to be throwing all these up in the true artwork zone here. And I think we're actually going to be hitting that next row. Yeah, there we go. There's so many cards. So many cards. This is huge. This is a set I am looking to master and working on it slowly. It's just kind of looking for the deal, picking up a single here and there. We got a few more to look at. Let's see. This one is wild. The Suin Zoroark V-Star. Pokemon did a good job with this one, and I think it's actually pretty underrated for what it is. This one could easily be in the $20 range, in my opinion, because it's so interesting in its artwork there. The Zacian V versus the Zamazenta V, putting those two next to each other. The Zamazenta, I don't think kind of hit it home for me, but the Zacian did. For some reason, this palette works better. The symmetry is really nice. It just kind of has a little bit more of a presence. So we already put the Zamazenta down there, but Zacian's going up in there. We're going up here, obviously. Luminion. I feel like this one is also undervalued. It's really cool. Maybe it's a little easier to pull than others, I guess. I really like the depth and the color. I don't know if it really hits home as a true artwork. It just falls a little bit shy, just a little bit, and it's very different from the rest. It's almost not nearly all black or anything, but it's got a lot of darkness there. Very low-key coloring, if we can go that route there. This one I've actually been struggling with a little bit here, Zoroark V-Star. There's a lot happening. It is interesting. There's some storytelling. Let's blow it up a little bit bigger because maybe I need another look. It's just a little bit short for me. For whatever reason, it's falling just a touch short, and putting it in that still artwork seems to work for me. And we get into that last little bit. Where are we at here? My goodness. Let's go high to low. Backed out. It was wrong. There we go. We should see it. No. What's going on here? Where's my Mewtwo V-Star? There we go. That's the last one I got to look at. If you have the Charizard from the Charizard UPC, you have it Charizard looking down and Mew's coming up at you. Now we have from behind Mew looking up at Charizard. The two together is awesome, and they're both crazy and chaotic. But this one of Mewtwo itself is fantastic. Definitely a true artwork there. There's one more I don't actually have in here, but wanted to pull aside and point out because it's the only secret rare. It ended up being a lot easier of a chase card than people thought, and it is amazing. If you've seen it in Japanese, it's even better because I think the silver border does more for it than the yellow border. But now that we're in the Scarlet and Violet era, with everything being silver borders, you kind of have that nostalgia for the yellow border, so now it kind of actually elevates it a little bit. But at $8, my gosh, this one's amazing. That one's a true artwork too. If we can take a look here, again, such a tough one to do, but you can see there is starting to be a little bit of a thread here through these. Man, in comparison, some of these are starting to make it difficult. These early ones, they're kind of making it difficult. Some of these later ones are difficult. There's some crossover. There needs to be another category in between of like truly still artwork, maybe. Hard to say, hard to do. What do you think? Comment down below. Am I wrong? Is there something that you think, no, you got to put that up higher? Yeah, Lapras is getting too much love here. I don't think so. Let me know in the comments below. That is a great way to just engage with the channel. Like the channel, the video today, and enter for your chance to win the Galarian Articuno tin from Crown Zenith, or your chance at 2 3-pack blisters from Stellar Crown. We also have a 4th prize, a Pokemon mystery prize, going out to 4 lucky winners. We're about to hit that 2,500 subscribers. I can feel it in my bones. It's fast approaching, and with your support, we're getting there, so I appreciate that. You know what to do. Look in the description below, see how you can enter, all that stuff if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and thank you for hanging out to the end. I post 7 days a week, so like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Again, 7 days a week, which means I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.